Good bless this Saturday morning, January the 6th, 2024. The time being 8:48 a.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with a universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest or the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you the proclaimed toughest or the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter if you my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't matter whether you like me or anything that I say or do or produce on social internet. That's your prerogative. You have a First, 14th Amendment rights to the United States Constitution, freedom of speech, freedom to gather, freedom to associate, long as you doing it in a peaceful manner. I'm here today because last year around this time, but it was January the 11th, 2023, I went down to Vienna, Illinois, Johnson County, to the courthouse because a captain at this detention center right across the street here that I'm from, Captain Barry Morgan, was charged with 2 charges: official misconduct and a battery stemming from a suspect. He beat this suspect up pretty bad. But you know about a suspect having criminal backgrounds, they intimidate these people, give them, if they had 1 case, they give them 100 cases and let that disappear. But I don't want to let it disappear to show you what Brent Farrow hired here in this Mississippi County, Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Detention Center. Brent Farrow is the sheriff. You will see how the county commission here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, I'm going to tell you about something about them. They don't care about criminals working in the sheriff department. And I'm going to show you why, because anytime a captain is charged by the Illinois State Police with charges, and the sheriff, that's the head of our county, goes all the way down there to support this individual, not caring what the Illinois State Police, who supersede this sheriff. He let his money and his name and the color of his skin make him think that he's above any law. But he went down there to support him, and I went down there because they keep it hush-hush. It's another one that he has up in here that's a criminal. John Blakely, a Supreme Court appellate judge said John Blakely is not to be trusted. He lied and falsified stuff, paid witnesses to lie on David Robertson back in 2000. And David Robertson was given life in prison, but 18 years later it was overturned. But that ain't it. Barry Morgan's he just recently got married. Guess what? The city of Charleston, they hired his wife. She's the clerk there for the Charleston, Missouri Police Department. Another convict, convicted of DUI. But you see, I want y'all to make it crystal clear. This ain't against all white people and most white people in this town. No, it's not. This is not against all law enforcement officials, because you have some good law enforcement officials. But you see, it's been a pattern or practice. You see what I'm saying? A violation of my civil rights for decades. The 2 misdemeanor convictions that I had, both of them stemming from Robert Hearns, the chief of police, and Lester Gillespie, some of they judges and prosecuting attorney. I kept my transcripts to show both of them misdemeanors, but it was concerning them. They trying to shut me down. But I want y'all to pay close attention to this here to show you criminals is running this here. Why am I paying county taxes or city taxes when me and my family is not protected? Only some police or only some sheriff deputies protect me and my family. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because they want a breed of Lester Gillespie's and Rodney Jones, Steve Betts, and some of these other sellouts. They want an NAACP like they got down here now that don't care about nothing. Let me show you something else that the city or the county allow convicts. Lester Gillespie, a convicted felon of voter fraud in the black community. Rodney Jones, a convicted rapist in the black community. But y'all pay close attention to these videos. These people don't care about the black community. And that don't mean all people in City Hall, don't mean all people in the county, don't mean all people in the police department or the sheriff department, because if it wasn't no good ones, I'd probably be dead now, because I done had plenty of threats and they don't do nothing about it. I done had plenty of attacks. They don't do nothing about it. You will notice that the chief of police, Robert Hearns, here in Charleston, Missouri, and the sheriff, Brenton Farrow, Lester Gillespie, Steve Betts, Rodney Jones, and some of these other ones. Look at my video. They marching with people that attack me, drug dealers and gangbangers. You hear Arthur Cassell in one of my videos saying, well, some of the gang chiefs used to help us, but they in prison now. How in the hell is they helping us and they in prison? I've been in prison before and ain't been back in 27 years. You see what I'm saying? I ain't been back in 27 years because I done turned my life around. I don't have to pick up a gun to blow one of these jokers' head off that's attacking me. God putting them in the cemetery when they do me wrong. Look at Darren Cain. Look at some of these other people. Look at these ones that Arthur Cassell, the police chief, and the rest of them, Susanna Westy and them, marching with two individuals that been attacking me, known drug dealer thugs, gangbangers, and the feds had to take them off the streets. Pay close attention. I want you to just look. This is the police department, and then the sheriff department actually supersedes, is a higher legal authority over the police department. In the Illinois State Police Department is a higher authority over the both of them, the Sheriff Department and the Police Department. But I want to show you, I'm just showing you this here because I did a story. Now I'm finna go to the Sheriff Department and then I'll finish my story.
Tonight about the case filed in Southern Illinois against a Mississippi County, Missouri Sheriff's deputy.
Mississippi County Sheriff Brenton Farrell says he stands by his captain, Barry Morgan, who faces charges of battery and official misconduct.
Here's a look at video from last September that shows Sheriff Farrell with Captain Morgan standing to his left. According to Illinois State Police, the state appellate prosecutor's office out of Springfield filed the charges against Morgan. They come nearly 6 months after the arrest of a man who allegedly stole a sheriff's department truck and drove it from Charleston into Illinois before being stopped in Johnson County. All state police will say is that Morgan faces the 2 counts for actions relating to that man's arrest. Sheriff Farrell, meantime, tells me their internal investigation found Morgan did nothing wrong during that arrest. Farrell goes on to say that Morgan, quote, has served and is serving Mississippi County and our profession admirably. Farrell also says it's unfortunate investigators would rather charge a fellow officer than concentrate on the actual perpetrator of the crime. The man accused of stealing that truck is 40-year-old Matthew Nelson of Buncombe. Nelson currently faces 15 counts in Mississippi County, including felony assault, armed criminal action, and stealing a motor vehicle. But first, Nelson heads to trial on 17 felony counts in Illinois. Heartland murder case about to be argued before the Missouri Supreme Court later this spring. In the late summer of 2000, Sikeston police arrested convicted drug dealer David Robinson in the shooting death of Sheila Box. Robinson, found guilty the following year, has always maintained his innocence. Well, now this special judge's report to the Missouri Supreme Court agrees with him. And this isn't some kind of procedural error. The judge who wrote this says David Robinson is innocent. The 2 key witnesses at his trial lied, and the detective behind his arrest in this report simply cannot be believed.
I read this every day. I can tell you everything in there page for page.
For David Robinson, this 91-page report to the Missouri Supreme Court puts a megaphone to the words he's repeated over and over again.
I ain't no murderer. I ain't killed nobody. I didn't kill Sheila Box or nobody else, nor have I ever killed anyone.
The state's high court called on Jefferson County Judge Darrell Missy to review everything in Robinson's case and gather new testimony. His report starts and finishes with the same assertion that Robinson is innocent. The pages in between detail an investigation that relied on questionable witnesses and no physical evidence, led by Detective John Blakely, described in here as not competent and not credible.
After reading that, I felt like, wow, it's the same thing I've been saying for 17 and a half years, and it fell on deaf ears.
On the night of August 5th, 2000, Sheila Box was shot as she sat in her SUV near this intersection on Sykeston's west side. Police arrested Robinson and a second man that night. They were questioned, their clothes tested for blood or gunpowder residue, and then released. But Robinson tells me he believes the focus stayed on him.
It was more so that they wanted me more than they wanted anybody.
And why? Why do you think they wanted you?
Past history dealing with the police.
Just get you off the street.
Just get me off the street.
According to Judge Missie's report, the only witnesses who implicated David Robinson at his murder trial were Albert Baker and Jason Richardson. Richardson testified he shared a cell with Robinson and overheard him bragging about the murder. But 3 years later, Richardson told investigators that wasn't true, and evidence shows he and Robinson were never cellmates. Judge Missie called his trial testimony profoundly unbelievable. Albert Baker, a paid informant for Sykeston police, testified he saw Robinson shoot Box. But in 2017, Baker said he lied, saying, quote, "The detective said they would change my life." Baker got out of jail within hours of signing his statement against Robinson and received $2,500 in cash in the weeks after.
Yeah, I forgive him. I even forgive Blakely, because as long as I held on to hate, I couldn't move forward.
Judge Missie has harsh words for Detective John Blakely, who took those statements from both Baker and Richardson. Missie says Blakely's testimony doesn't ring true, and the timing of Albert Baker's release from jail back in 2000 was no accident.
Blakely denied that he didn't have nothing to do with Albert Baker getting out of jail. That was a lie. The judge called it a lie.
The judge also called Blakely, quote, "the least credible witness to have testified before this court." What is credible, Judge Missie writes, are the numerous confessions given by this man, Romance Mosby. Several people testified that Mosby said he shot Sheila Box that night following a drug deal gone bad. Mosby hanged himself in prison in 2009.
I hate to see what happened. And do I believe the fact that he told other people that? Yeah.
But the judge also had some harsh words for Robinson, calling him his own worst enemy.
At first I looked at Judge like, who you calling worse? But he right. Selling drugs, I was guilty for that. He said I spoke openly on it. I've been convicted of it before.
Will you leave here if they allow you to leave, a changed man?
I'm preparing myself now, because I had walked out these doors 6 times for crimes that I was good for, but I always had in my head I didn't have no vision. I want to be going home, getting out, staying out, and be a better husband, a better brother, a better father, a better mentor, better son. Slicing is in the rear view. I can't go through.
This place, after you done looked at them videos, you will see, number one, they don't care about safety in the community, especially the black community. Here it is, they hiring. Look who they got working in here. But yet they fire other individuals that commit crimes up in that been a part of this here. Charleston, Missouri Police Department, same way, y'all. You remember where it's at over here now. If the feds would do like they did in Ferguson, Missouri, and investigate practice or pattern or practice, on my case alone, they would see it. But it's many other people that's scared to speak up. I done had threats on my life. My house done been shot up a couple of times. It may not even been intentionally. It could have been. But you got people like Lester Gillespie, Rodney Jones, Steve Betts, and the NAACP. They trying to get you young and older blacks to attack me, but I'm speaking up for y'all. See what they have done for y'all in this community. Not a doggone thing, but getting that grant money, and they the one going, they moving up. Y'all ain't moving nowhere. Y'all still selling their projects. Y'all still going to the liquor store and get y'all liquor and cigarettes and your drugs after he get through letting y'all do these little summer jobs. And y'all that think that I be talking about y'all family that get locked up for these cases, burglaries and all that, that been working for Lester. No, I'm just showing you, your family member need help. But Lester Gillespie got connections with drug abuse and alcoholic thing, but he don't use, he use your family members to act like that they coaching these young people. But how is the young people gonna respect somebody that's out here doing drugs in and out of prison? You see what I'm saying? But y'all can keep on letting them do it. But I thank God that my second oldest daughter, my third oldest child, seeing the world don't have nothing to offer her. Seeing the teachings that I taught her, she needs to come on back home. I thank all the white and black, law enforcement, non-law enforcement, all of y'all that was praying for me and my child, and all of y'all that wasn't law enforcement officials that been praying for my child, black and white. Peace be still.